Hello everybody, Sergeant Souls here, and we're back with the Rust Community Showcase, and today we're looking at a random assortment of hats. That's right, all three types of hats that weren't covered recently, the regular hat, the Boonie, and the Beanie. They're all going to be in this video because I couldn't find enough skins to make separate videos for each of them, so we rolled them up into this and said, hey, let's show the best skins possible in one video and hope that we can get some of them in the game. So first off, we have the Dirty Panda Beanie. It looks awesome. It looks like one of those beanies that you would get out of one of those Justice stores in the mall. But we're in the apocalypse now. The world has seen some things, and so has this hat. It looks like it's got a couple holes in the back. It's very dirty. It's faded. I think this is a job well done. Number 2, this one is called the Indiana Jones Boonie. Whatever texture they use to get this brown leather look, it looks awesome. It is a job well done. And I really like this hat. If we could couple this with a brown leather jacket and maybe get a whip in game, bam, done. Indiana Jones in the game of Rust. Number 3, and technically 3.5, we have the Mario and Luigi ball caps. Now these, just like everything else, have that little bit of a dirt tinge to them. You can see a couple spots near the M and the L symbol in the center. But even though they look dirty, their colors are very bright and vibrant, which isn't always good for a Rust skin, but I think in this case it kind of gets away from it. The white circle around the M and the L, I would probably prefer that to just be a little darker, to maybe not be quite as bright white, to show, hey, these hats have been around, they've seen some things, some very bad things. But all in all, I think the hats are great, and these would be perfect hats for a duo playing the game of Rust, where one is Mario, one is Luigi. Actually, for the purposes of recording, I think it'd be very funny as well. So, up next is a beanie that's called the glow-in-the-dark Wolf Eyes Beanie. I'm not sure if that's the actual name of it. I don't have that written down. But this one, I didn't quite know what to expect, because apparently the eyes glow. And as far as I know in the game of Rust, beanies don't do anything like that. It's just a hat. So I don't know if this is just, you know, shady marketing to try to get the skin into the game or something, but if the eyes glowed like that normally, without the non-glowing part, if the eyes glowed that bright, I think it'd be a really cool addition to the game just because it looks neat. Kind of got that demon eye look going on. But if it was the darker eyes that didn't glow, I still think that would be okay too. In terms of whether or not this should be added, obviously they don't glow in the dark because we're not talking about a lantern hat here or anything like that, but I think it's okay. The next hat we have is called the Toxic Hat. This hat's pretty cool. It definitely fits in with the theme of the game, the whole toxic radiation, end of the world kind of thing. Black hat splattered with green goo, I'm guessing radioactive waste, who knows, but I think it looks pretty cool, and it definitely fits in with the theme, so hey, let's throw it in the video. Next up, we have a Rust hat, which is all black, and it's got these white slashes in the front of it. I really don't understand this hat. I don't know what the slashes kind of mean, but I think it looks cool, so hey, throw it in the video, right? Yeah. Okay, next. This one is by far one of my favorites. It probably should be a little higher up in the list, but whatever, let's go with it. This is called the Makeshift Goggles hat. These goggles are a hat that's cut down to look like goggles on a bald head. This is very, very apocalyptic. You know, this brings me back to like the Mad Max movies where you had a guy with red mohawks and you know, goggles and armor made out of tires and stuff like that. This would definitely fit in with the game of Rust. How they did this, I have no idea. It even looks like there's like feathers and nails on the side of it. This is truly an awesome hat. And this is one to where I would probably buy it if it were put in the game, but I just don't know how well received it's going to be, because, you know, some people are like, oh, it's got to be, you know, blah, 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 blah. It's got to be realistic. You know, you can't put the goggles over your eyes. You know, hey, it's a skin. It looks cool. Just go with it. Anyway, the next 3 are ones that, if they were put into the game, I would buy them immediately. So let's get started with number, I don't know, 7, whatever we're on. This is from the Wasteland set. There are actually 2 hats in this one, the cap and the beanie. I would prefer the cap just because the colors are a little bit more vibrant and the handprint on the front looks awesome. Whereas with the Beanie, it seems to be a little too faded. I know, not exactly in line with what I've said in previous videos about the colors being too bright and vibrant, but it just seems like the designs are lost in the Beanie because they're too faded, especially the handprint. Whereas with the hat, like, the handprint really stands out and it looks awesome. So please put that in the game so I can buy it. Next, the Snow Camo Beanie, and if you watched the previous video where we did the Snow Camo Baklava, I had said that we would want that in that video I said we would want it in there because of our admin uniform, and this would be pretty much the same thing. For those of you that aren't admins and you're wearing this type of camo in the snow, it would be very, very useful, especially if you have a Steam ID that gives you darker skin, we'll put it that way. Being able to cover that up in the snow would probably be very helpful. Last but not least, this is my favorite hat of this whole video. It's called the Army Camo 3 Boonie hat. This is a Boonie. You can tell by the very short brim and the squarish look at the top of the hat. It is not a ball cap. It doesn't have the little knot on the top. It's not completely rounded. This is a Boonie, and the person that made this did an incredible job with it. First of all, very obvious, you have two legitimate army patches right over the left eye. Those look great. They look exactly how they look in real life, and having them on this hat makes it awesome. 2, the coloring. I prefer this grayish one just because that's the style that I like. There are other camo designs that you can look into, but personally, I picked this one, and if this hat makes it into the game, this will become my new hat. And now that I believe they made it so that all hats can be worn with bandanas, coupling this with an awesome bandana would be amazing. It would be amazeballs. So anyway, that's going to be it for this episode of the Rust Community Showcase. We're going a little longer than I wanted to go, but we had a lot of skins to get in here, and for having 3 different types of hats, you know, there was the potential that we would go for 7 minutes. But anyway, if you want to see these skins in person in the workshop, if you want to vote for them, please vote for them. You can find the links in the description of this video, and the only way we're going to get these into the game is if you click yes. So if nothing else, please click yes on the Army Camo 3 hat so I can wear that. But otherwise, this was Sergeant Solge, the Rust Community Showcase, and we'll see you in the next Showcase video. Bye-bye! Thank you so much for watching the Rust Community Showcase. If you'd like to see more great skins by your fellow Rust players and content creators, click either of the annotations you see in front of you. If you have your own created content that you'd like to feature in a video, please leave a link of the item or items in the comment section of the video.